Endless sandy landscapes lie in the Sahara Desert in the absence of people under the scorching sun. It is one of the most famous deserts worldwide, and when you look at this desert, it has various mysteries hidden deep under the sand dunes. So let's find out what's hidden under the sands of the Sahara and some incredible facts about this desert in this video. Watch until the end to avoid missing out on all the discoveries. But before we get into the video, here's a knowledge test for you. Which is the world's largest desert? Comment below your answer. Here we begin. The Sahara Desert is located in northern Africa and spreads to large areas of the continent, covering around 9,200,000 square kilometers, which is comparable to China or the United States. The Sahara is the world's hottest desert, with one of the harshest climates. The average annual temperature is 30 degrees Celsius, with the highest recorded temperature being 58 degrees Celsius. In addition, the region receives little rain. Half of the Sahara Desert receives less than an inch of rain per year. Despite popular belief, temperatures in the Sahara drop dramatically at night due to a lack of humidity and can reach lows of -6 degrees Celsius. Snow falls on several mountain ranges regularly, but nowhere else in the Sahara. Surprisingly, the Sahara is much more than sand. Most of the Sahara is composed of barren, rocky plateaus, salt flats, sand dunes, mountains, and dry valleys. Moreover, except for the Nile, all rivers and streams in the Sahara are seasonal. And this might shock you, but the Sahara has over 20 lakes, the majority of which are saltwater. Lake Chad is the desert's only freshwater lake. Koussi, at a height of 3,415 meters, a volcano in Chad's Tibesti Mountains, is the highest point in the Sahara. The Ar Mountains, Saharan Atlas, Adrar des Iforas, Hogar Mountains, Tibesti Mountains, and Red Sea Hills are among the other mountain ranges in the area. So what does the word Sahara mean? The word Sahara originated from the Arabic noun Sahara, which means desert. Sahara is somehow also related to the adjective ashar, which means desert-like and refers to a reddish hue. And how big are the sand dunes in the Sahara? The Isouani and Tifernine Sand Sea in east-central Algeria has sand dunes as high as 450 meters. The Chikaga Dunes are Morocco's largest, with some reaching 300 meters in height. The Chikaga Dunes are difficult to reach, with only 4x4, camel, or foot access. These dunes are in a relatively untouched area of the Sahara. Now the question arises, is the Sahara Desert changing over time? Yes, significantly. The Sahara has changed dramatically. It was once lush and green, home to a wide range of plants and animals. The shift occurred 5,000 years ago as a result of a gradual shift in the Earth's tilt. The Sahara Desert is expected to revert to green at some point in the future. Despite being such a happening and calm place to explore, it has various mysteries beneath it. And here are some of the discoveries found in the Sahara Desert. Lost River. The Sahara Desert wasn't always there. Instead, the sand's borders have shifted over millions of years as the climate changes. So scientists have turned their attention to the history of the Sahara, just as they can look for ancient evidence of water on planet Mars. According to research, what was once the world's 12th largest drainage basin flowed from within or now beneath the Sahara. The river's remains were discovered in Mauritania when an undersea canyon off the coast was found that had been carved by the river. River sediments were also discovered in unexpected places. Satellite provided the final confirmation of the presence of a lost river. The Tamanrasset River has been named after the lost river, and research is ongoing to learn more about a body of water that may have dried up only 5,000 years ago. Skeletons of whales. Not only have rivers vanished beneath the Sahara, what was once an ocean, a massive water body, has become one of the driest places on Earth over geological time. Evidence of the lost water body, the Tethys Ocean, can be found in Egypt's Wadi al-Hitan, and with that, one can understand where the skeletons of whales were found. Whale Valley is one of the best, if unlikely, locations for finding whale fossils. The fossils on display shed light on how whales evolved from land-dwelling creatures to those who spent their entire lives at sea. When modern whales' ancestors died in the sea around 37 million years ago, their bodies were covered in sediment. Their former home became land as the Earth's crust rose. Paleontologists are now studying the 15-meter-long or 50-foot skeletons and the creatures they shared the sea with. Along with the whale bones, large and vicious shark teeth were discovered. Meteorites and craters. The Earth has always been bombarded by space rocks and meteorites. Most disintegrate harmlessly in the atmosphere, leaving only a streak of light across the sky. Others make it to the ground and have devastating consequences. Because most occurred in the distant past, the craters left behind by such impacts are frequently overlooked due to erosion or plant growth. The scars, however, can still be seen in deserts. For example, the 45-meter-wide or 148-foot Kamil crater in southwestern Egypt clearly marks the location of an iron meteorite strike around 5,000 years ago. However, it's not only meteorite craters that can be discovered. Fragments of the meteorite have been discovered around the Kamil crater, where the impact shattered it and scattered it across the sand. This is not an isolated finding. Almost one-fifth of all the meteorites recovered have come from the Sahara. This is because meteorites stand down on the sands, often just waiting to be picked up. Only the snows of Antarctica offer a better opportunity for meteorite hunting. Lost fortresses. Satellites have enabled explorers to peer beneath the canopy of the densest jungles and pierce the heart of the most inhospitable deserts without even leaving their chairs. For example, satellites discovered the remains of more than 100 fortresses belonging to the Libyan Garamantes people in 2010. The oil industry had well mapped the area in search of drilling locations, so archaeologists were able to scan their satellite images for the telltale signs of walls. Later, researchers confirmed that the Garamantes built the structures, although their expeditions were cut short by the Libyan revolution that toppled Colonel Gaddafi. The area where the Garamantes flourished, roughly the 2nd century BC to the 7th century AD, was already extremely arid. They formed their land by digging underground channels that brought their water from ancient reservoirs. The fields withered when this water source dried up, and the Sahara engulfed the fortresses and villages. World War II P-40 KITTYHAWK. Flight Sergeant Dennis Copping was flying a slightly damaged P-40 KITTYHAWK aircraft to a British base in the desert for repairs on June 28, 1942. Unfortunately, the plane and its young pilot vanished along the way. Only in 2012 were the plane's remains discovered when an oil worker came across them. But then, the plane was mostly undamaged, having never been touched, and there was still evidence of a parachute used to make a shelter. The plane was later taken to the El Alamein Museum and restored, though not to everyone's liking. Some believe the plane should have remained in place as a memorial to its young pilot. Others thought the museum's restoration job made it look like a poorly painted model. During the plane's recovery, no trace of Dennis Copping was discovered. His exact fate is yet another mystery held by the Sahara. So these were some of the mysteries hidden in the sands of the Sahara. What do you think of the mysteries of the Sahara Desert? And the answer to the question we've asked is that the Antarctic Desert is the largest desert in the world. It might sound surprising, but it's the truth. So let us know your views in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe for more.